Myself, Dr. Ramgulam Razdan, Professor of Psychiatry and Head Departments of Psychiatry, Indus Medical College and Associated Hospital. I am also Pro Chancellor of the Malvanchal University, Indore. I am presenting lecture on Introduction to Psychiatry. You see, going through any branch of medicine, or going through any aspect where you want to get knowledge, foremost important thing is know about what was the past. Without past, you can't know present. You can't think about future. So I'll be starting first with the history of psychiatry. First of all, psychiatry related with the mind. So what is the mind? That we have to go first understand. The mind is the set of cognitive faculties, including consciousness, imagination, perception, thinking, judgment, language, and memory, which is housed in the brain. It holds the power of imagination, recognition, and appreciation, and is responsible for processing feeling and emotion, resulting in the attitude and action. By the physiological process of brain, mental activity becomes possible. The brain is the center of nervous system, and, and there is close association between mind and central nervous system. So functioning part of the central nervous system, the mind. And to understand the psychiatry, the science of understanding the mind, to understand how the mental processes occurs, how mind functions, what are various disorders, and what is the treatment. It is psychiatry. So indirectly, psychiatry is studying mind, and studying is physiology and functioning, its various disorders, identification, and management. First, what is health? Health is defined as complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and is not merely the absence of disease. So WHO give this definition of the health. Here, he gave importance of uh, mind or mental aspect of functioning after physical recovery. So, to be healthy, mental well-being is very important. Maria Zonada proposed the following six characteristics of mentally healthy person. So, before going ahead, we should know about what is healthy mind. Who is healthy, mentally healthy? Then we'll talk about what is mental illness and what is the mental disorder. The person who masters environment and undistorted perception of reality, integration in the society and himself, autonomy, yes, the future planning about growth and self-development and self-actualization. And he has positive, mature attitude towards self. Now, coming to the mental illness. Any illness with significant psychological or behavioral manifestation that is associated with either a painful or distressing symptom or impairment in the one or more important areas of functioning is mental disorder. A mental illness can have an effect on every aspect of person's life, including thinking, feeling, mood, and outlook, and such areas of external activity as family and marital life, sexual activity, work, recreation, and management of mental, material aspect. Present aspect of uh, mental disorder. Most middle and lower income countries devote less than 1% of their health expenses to mental health. Consequences, the mental illness, mental health, policies, legislation, community care facilities, and treatment for people with mental illness are not given priority as they deserve. The roundabout, you will see, uh, in general practice, about 14% of the persons in general attend OPD, are the medical, are it surgical, or gynae. The about 15% people seeking treatment in the various OPDs, they suffer from some other mental disorder. Epidemiological studies, latest is uh, the study carried out by the Government of India, the study of epidemiological study of mental disorders of India 2017. It reveals that about 4% people they suffer from depression, about 1% from schizophrenia, and about 6-7% people they suffer from the anxiety state. Most middle these say they have very less expenses about uh, management of for the mental disorder country. And this is very horrible and very uh, think factors that one has to think about. Then the question arises how why these illnesses occur. Mental and behavioral disorders are the result of complex interaction between biology, psychological, and social factors. Mental illness are common to all countries and cause immediate suffering. People with these disorders are often subject to social isolation, poor quality of life, and increased mortality. Evidence from WHO suggests that nearly half the world population is affected by mental illness and impact of their self-esteem, relationship, ability to function in their everyday life. There is growing evidence that is showing emotional ability are associated with psychosocial behavior such as stress management and physical health. The importance of maintaining good mental health is crucial to a living a long and healthy life of a person. What is magnitude of the problem? One of four patients visiting the health services has at least one mental or neurological disorder, but most of the disorders are neither diagnosed nor treated. Split, first of all, go to the history. You see, our Indian uh, history that is one Indian civilization is one of the most ancient civilization where the Ayurveda was written about 4000 before Christ. According to Ayurveda, psychiatry was levelized both Vidya. Now, it denotes neither God nor demon can torment the man who is tormented by the himself. About 450 million people worldwide are affected by mental and neurological behavioral problem at any time. About 8,73,000 people die by suicide every month. This is one of important. According to that, see if you see the ancient part, that Indian part, I said that again continuing to that, the Indian that the philosophy of Ayurveda, they define that there are three types of human: Kapha, Vata, and Pitra. There are three types of personality described: Sat, Sattvic, Rasic, and Tamasic. Sattvic means high intellectual and moral level. Rasic are more emotionally passionate nature and a person has impulsivity. Tamasic relate to mental subnormalities such as compared to person behave like birds, animal, fishes, and vegetable. They are called tamasic. There are three types of humor according to the Ayurvedic system. Bathorman, again, that schizophrenia when that comes this country, Bathorman, mania comes into the Kaponma depression and Tesoda severe depression. Exogenous that factors are the psychological distress, defined in Ayurveda in the form of sudden fear, stress. This was considered stress is because it was by God or demons. And in the Ayurveda, the psychiatric patients were treated with sympathy, kindness, and antagonistic emotion, talisman, charms, ritual, prayer, and medication. And intractable disease by brutal treatment with scalding, whipping, and confinement and socket. Bhagavad Gita, when you talk about India, about talking about Indian history, this is we can't ignore Bhagavad Gita. It's good source of psychotherapy, counseling, good source of crisis intervention, therapist-client relationship. Why it is important in India? Because it's very easy to to guide the Indian population who believes in Gita, who believes in the Indian, the concept of mind and ancient attitudes towards life. Now, other parts, Chinese history will go fundamental concepts of idea of two opposing energy field yin and yang that must be in balance health to be sustained. Believe that water energy flows along a specific pathway and imbalance can be corrected by stimulating certain specific point of the pathway. Hippocrates coming now, the later part of the civilization in 4th century BC, I think the most of the concept evolved in the European countries, where Hippocrates in 4th century BC who believed that illness occurs as a result of imbalance between four humors, which correspond to the four basic quality of matter: blood and heat, black bile, cold, yellow bile, moisture, and phlegm and dryness. Madness was often seen as disturbance of black bile, called melancholia or melancholia. Hysteria was attributed to movement of the uterus. Treatment was aimed at restoring hormonal balance through the purgative, peppers, bath, and special diets. These ideas formed the center of much of medicine until 17th century. Plato was born in 428 and died 314. According to him, illness came from the loss of balance between psyche and soma through the self-deception. The psyche had three components: region and temper. Reason and rational thought are higher of highest order, whereas the body was temporary and secondary important. Borrowed by expanded and ideas in belief, the Romans concepts evolved, distinguished from Phrenitis from the Mania, treatment in the Roman and 4th century BC, and after that, where treatment consists in the form of light therapy, diet therapy, music therapy, intellectual and physiotherapy. And emphasis was on the control of rational thought or emotion and passion. Galen, at the same time, he considers it related one of the four elements and body humors: melancholic, sanguine, choleric, and phlegmatic. With the ascendancy of Christianity to predominance and the Christian dogma became the basis. Medieval period concepts stress that individual had free will and were responsible for the action. Illness came from the sin and resulting from punishment of God. Mental illness was seen as alienation from God and return to the God was essential for the cure. It was treatment by the prayer, community involvement, work, and compassion, confession, and penance were essential. Certain monasteries became center for the treatment of mental illness. Early treatment using purgative, bloodletting, and such as practice of trepanation was also just making hole in the brain. In the modern period, how the psychiatric mark, the growing knowledge resulting from the anatomical studies, they become very much clear what is brain and what are various systems and organs the body, but related more etiology, understand etiology of mental illness and spirituality, external, one in internal factors. Most patients in that in this 17th, 18th century were not treated properly. They were neglected and ridicule seen in the charging of tours and insane asylum where the inmates were placed. The people were tortured and there was a lot of stigma behind. Reform movement developed by William Stew and in England and Penal in the Paris. As the removal of wants and system of cruelty towards the mentally ill, advocating instead various elements of moral treatment. They advocated, they advocated cultivation of self-control good habit, quiet environment, a strong relationship with doctor, family, and having self-expression and re-education. The word 18th century psychology came into existence, and the at the same time the concept of psychology evolved. The psychology has word has consists of two words. Psyche means soul, logos means study. That in fact is the science of study of behavior. And in the recent in the beginning of 19th century, Watson focused attention on the observed behavior based on follow theory and classical tendency. Tendency through environment influence responsibility is responsible for the shaping and behavior. Classical tendency, operant tendency, learning was main. Uh, then came the era of Sigmund Freud. More to the mental illness, he described the structure of the psyche, id, ego, and superego. Id means pleasurable peaceful. It works according to pleasure peaceful. Ego, it goes in reality, and superego more is responsible for moral valuation. And he described psychosexual stage of development and various uh, different stories. He also described the parts of mind in the form of the conscious, unconscious, and pre-conscious. Then, even carefully, the nosology of systematized dementia precox and bipolar disorder is described as many depressive psychosis. You can boil or find the term schizophrenia. Carl Rasmus was one of important is a person in the development of psychiatry. He described phenomenology. Kurt Snyder, he described first rank symptom ECT was that discovered by Serletti and Winnie in 1938, Clompos in 1952 as most potent test, and first time and immunotherapy same time immunotherapy as first protection was involved. 201 word health report identifies a person and we if that affects mental illness, his life, and he also that emphasized that it now needs the understanding of the mental disorder and treatment. It is only 15% will suffer from mental disorder, but only one-fifth receive care in the field. This is very important. And the anxiety referred to quite common in general population, constitutes a major group of psychiatric disorder. A lifetime prevalence of depression is 20 to 25%, where 8 to 12% of males. Prevalence of any substance abuse is then from 1.5. Alcohol is about 7.2. Total population, that children, all the S group are affected, children, adults, and migrants and others. And disease burden. World Development Reports conclude that mental column makes 8 point for a total global burden of the disease. Of that point, were her largest and are depression and self-inflicted injury. In addition, 34% of global disease due to disorders that are behavioral related and violence and smoking and drinking. Thank you very much for listening. And it needs further study. You can go through the various reference books written by Kaplan Seta or ask for textbook of Sahil. Thank you very much.